Hello and welcome you crazy people, my name is Jay and today we're going to be looking at Crowfall, which is a game I'd pretty much all but written off, but on the live stream they announced something which is so close to tempting me back but not quite, and because it just falls short at the final hurdle, and that is the return of the Hunger Dome Battle Royale. Now I say return, it isn't actually the same as the Battle Royale when the game was first in its early testing phases. It's a completely different system that we'll talk about as we watch this trailer, for example. So this is the trailer that they put out. It's only 1 minute and 22 seconds, so we shouldn't be here all day watching this, but basically it's a system where I think they said there's 12 teams of 5 versus 5 members in it. Now that is a lot of players. I suspect this won't be running all of the time because it would be quite difficult to do this. Now, they said they're going to have like character archetypes that you can pick so that you don't have to have played the MMO, but they did say you can bring in your characters from the campaigns and stuff like that. However, they'll be like capped at a certain point or whatever. Now, as I said, it's 5 versus 5, and there will be like an ELO system or ELO system, whatever you want to call it, where you can be matchmaked. So you can go in with your friends, yeah, you can party up, but you can also just join as a solo player and get into the game. There's keeps and stuff like that. The games apparently take about 30 minutes, but you start with your skills or your talents or whatever but you start not naked but near enough. You've got to run around, pick up crates and get special items and then fight in a 5 versus 5 system. Now the reason that this is super interesting to me particularly is something they mentioned on the stream, which is that basically there's a strong barrier to entry for the game as it is right now for Crowfall, and that's because as a single player, as a new player getting into it, you basically have to join a guild. There's no way around that, and then that guild is going to do PvP activities, so you're going to need to commit to like several half an hours or an hour's in a stint, defending sieges and all, and attacking and all that kind of stuff. You basically have to commit to like voice chat and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. That's the kind of game they're going for, but they recognize that it's a bit of for an initial play, it's a bit of an investment. So they were like, well, we'll make this battle royale, which is, I said, there's 5 versus 5 versus whatever. I think they said there's 12 teams and the games last 30 minutes, and you can queue up using these archetype characters, so that's fine. There are limits, so like you can't have multiples of certain classes and that kind of stuff, but they're not going crazy on the limits. However, in the stream they mentioned something which sort of put me off a little bit, and that is that the characters from the MMO, the actual MMO side of it, will be, and they're calling this an MMO, but which is quite funny, can be a little bit stronger than the archetypes. So they can be like level 35, where the archetypes can be level 30. Now they did say that gear and skill is like the in-game gear that you'll get and the skill and stuff like that is actually more important. But for me, that's just a point where it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And it's not actually because they're going to be better than I am, if that makes sense. I do believe it's the high skill ceiling or whatever you want to call it in Crowfall. No, it's actually not because of that necessarily, and it's not even, they said that this is a way of trying to get people to play the MMO. Sure, I appreciate that because you want to customize your characters and all that kind of stuff. However, the stumbling block for me is I don't like feeling like I'm negatively impacting the people I randomly queue up with. So granted, I guess once you ELO'd, you're all going to be about the same. So like your level 35 versus, with your level 30 archetype, it's probably going to be about the same because eventually the ELO will like catch up. But I don't like the idea of like hindering my team. And then worse than that, you may get bullied by the teammates. You like, imagine there's 4 people and they all join a queue, and then you queue through it and they're all like level 35 from the MMO, and you're like, hi guys, I hope I'm not a hindrance to you. You just feel sad, and you like, I wouldn't be surprised if you see arguments because of people using the archetypes, which I guess is not what you would want to see, but it's almost hard to legislate, if that makes sense. I personally think that the character should be of equal skill, equal abilities, if that makes sense. And then, if you need to maybe try and boost the reason to play the MMO via alternative methods like skins or I don't know, certain advantages that aren't necessarily going to help you win the battle royale, so you don't feel possibly bullied by it. But I really like the idea. However, what I think, like, I think Crowfall, it's very interesting that they're doing this, because they're doing basically it's not an out of game thing, but it's not related to the campaigns to some extent, because you can do your archetypes and stuff like that. Weirdly, Crowfall, if they would maybe have just have made like a queuing battleground system where you just used standard loot or skills or something and standard levels, may have been the answer. Or an arena system, a 5 versus 5 queuing system, like basically like World of Warcraft arena system, except you can actually, you know, solo queue, and just said, yeah, crack on. Because I feel like that's what something people don't understand about World of Warcraft, is that if you want to be a PvPer, you can't PvP solo. You have to join groups, which isn't necessarily a problem because it is an MMO and people say, oh, the social experience, but you sort of want to tease people, you want to get people into the game, you want to get them hooked, or as Todd said, the gateway drug. And this kind of system, it's almost there, but if you give people any excuse to not be interested, they won't be interested. I know this for a fact because I was watching it. I was like, yeah, I might actually play this. I can play this dead casually. Fine. Then they said that I'd be a bit of it wouldn't be quite as high level as the other people. I was like, nope. It doesn't matter if the difference is this much or like a bit, very much. The fact that I think I might be a hindrance, and the fact that I think that they might not be happy with me being in there using the archetypes, that's a problem. And yeah, it's so close. The game for Crowfall is such a good idea, but it's just not materializing in a way that gets me excited. Like the dying worlds and if it was procedurally generated and nobody knew where the best loot was and stuff like that, it would be interesting, but it's not quite like that. It's literally just slightly variant maps for people to fight over sieges, and you've got to do it in a big group. It's not quite there. I feel like for me, it's so close, but not yet. Hopefully we'll get it to it'll come to a stage where I'm happy to just drop in again. But yeah, I played it. I joined a guild. The game was laggy because it was in beta, and I was like, no, I'm not interested. And then to get me back interested, I'd probably have to I don't want to join a guild again and maybe not betray them. That sounds harsh, but you know what I mean, leave. So, meh. So close, but not quite. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye. Like the video if you like it. Bye.